It's hosta day. It really is. We're planting hostas today, and I'm super, super excited. So, hello everyone. Before we get going, how have you been? We have been doing amazing because the garden has just started to wake up everywhere, right? A lot of the plants that...
Literally everywhere. I mean, look at my dogwood here. I was worried because it was confused, and now it's just like poof. So I'm excited.
Yeah. So we're just very excited because there are just some plants, you know, that we were kind of worried about. Like Ambrose mentioned this guy right here. We're just kind of worried because they made a very long trip. You know, the move that we had recently to here to Texas. And we didn't think they were going to make it, some of them, and they did. I don't think we lost any of the hostas. I'm very excited. And I'm showing you this one right here because it's one that we received not long ago. Maybe a year ago, I'm going to say, and we never got to plant it. I think it's because we were getting ready to move at that.
Yeah, we decided not to do it because we already had a lot of stuff in that ground there, and so we kept it in a container.
At the time that this was delivered to us, I think it was from our friends Proven Winners, but from Walter's Garden, if I'm correct. And it had just come out, or I don't even think it had come out yet.
It was a perennial sample.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay. So, anyways, this beautiful hosta here is called Miss America.
Yeah.
It gets a pretty good size.
Yep.
And I can't wait to plant it. We were going to plant it in a container, but I said, nope, we're here. We're going to go ahead and have a blast. Plant it in here. I love variegation. And this, I don't know if this is what you call variegated. I just know, look how beautiful that is. I just want to go ahead and plant it in the ground. Now, some of the hostas are damaged because we had some hail.
Yeah, we had a pretty big hailstorm about a week ago, and we actually were expecting one last night. Luckily, that didn't happen, but a lot of these were just coming out with new growth, and man, that hail just did some damage. We have a big philodendron, a split leaf that I don't know if Angie wants to show you later, but that got a lot of damage. Just a lot of hail falling and created all sorts of messes.
Now, we do have slugs here. I get you guys now. We didn't have any slug problems at the past garden, but that was because we had frogs. We had a small pond that you had.
Yeah, so the water feature definitely, so just in case you guys want to know, the water feature definitely helps in a garden. As long as you keep it free of insects from as far as mosquitoes, but even then they'll get eaten. But a water feature definitely helps. It attracts that amphibian life that loves to eat the slugs.
So we will be doing that in the future. Go ahead, and so we can attract, you know, our friends, the frogs, to come in and take care of that. We will be treating some of, the whole garden here with a spray that we love to use. We'll show it. If not in this video, we'll probably do it on another video so we can speak more about it. But I think let's get going. I know we're not just going to plant hostas because Ambrose has
I have some ferns that we want to plant. Angie has some heucheras?
Heucheras that I want to plant. And so I say let's just get going before we make this any longer.
Now for, you know, the tough job. This is the biggest thing we're going to have to deal with. These guys are here. And as you can see, they're all over the place. So
the good thing is that's going to be the ground, the soil we're working with is going to drain really well. Now, hosta's not picky with soils. It does well in this type of soil, from clay to, we have loamy soil, loamy clay soil, which is perfect here. They can take a lot of wet soils. That's what we had them in the past garden we lived in Virginia. Very wet environment we had them planted in. And they did great. So here we're just going to go ahead and start planting them.
Yeah.
And then we will talk about the other plants as we get going.
Yep.
So I'm going to show you where we're going to go ahead and plant the hostas. One's going to go there. I have no idea what it's called. I'll let Ambrose.
That one is called Diamond Lake.
Diamond Lake.
We have two of those there.
And then this one will go here. I think we'll put some ferns right there. This is wee hosta. They're a smaller variety of hosta. The other two are very large in size. And wee hosta doesn't get that big. I think it's 3 feet.
It's going to get about 3 feet, so that's not the max right there, but it'll get just a bit bigger than that.
We have another one over here. Is that Diamond Lake?
No, that is a I forget the name.
Woo-la-la. No, okay, so that one gets huge.
Yes.
We're going to leave plenty of room here for that one. What's this one over here?
That one is another Diamond Lake. And the reason you can tell it's a Diamond Lake, it kind of has that wavy edges.
Okay. And then that one right there.
That's another Woo-la-la as well.
So, oh my, I have another one over here. See, guys, I forget. So this one right here will be placed here. And this is a Woo-la-la.
Yeah.
This is a Woo-la-la. I think because of the edging.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll have it right there. So that's where they're gonna go, and then we'll see where we dot in the Heucheras. We don't have a lot of Heuchera, but I want to get them planted. I want to see what they do, and with time we'll figure out if we move things, because I am going to want to plant in here other type of hydrangeas.
Okay, so I know we want it to be a jungle in here, and it's gonna be kind of a secret garden. I don't know if you can see Angie. Yeah, you can see Angie. But I'm gonna love when it looks like a jungle here. Trust me, it's gonna look beautiful in here. But this is already like hitting me in the head as I'm digging, and it's not cramped, but you know, I'm loving the feel already. Just being in this corner right here and knowing that this is going here feels amazing. So I think it's gonna be pretty awesome. But the challenge is, like I said, guys, it's this rock right here. A lot of it's leftover rock from the landscaping when these houses were built. I've seen some concrete chunks that are thrown over here, so that's kind of the stuff that we're dealing with. But again, great drainage in this in this garden. For pretty much we've dug in a couple of spots. And it's been some great drainage. So
it's very good drain. It drains really, really well. The soil is really good.
And you know when they say you want it to be like cake, not too muddy? I mean, what more could you ask for?
And, the stones, I know somebody had mentioned, that you use your stones, whatever you dig out for your beds, your paths. And that's exactly what I'm going to do, because I'm loving it. The rock that's coming out, it's really pretty. So we'll just go ahead and reuse it.
So we don't want to bore you with digging a bunch of holes. And so we're going to do the first one here so you guys can see us plant this first one. And then we'll plant the rest up. So
before we get going, I do want to show something pretty cool and awesome. Some of these, to me, it's cool. I don't know if they can see me there. Can they see me there?
Yeah.
So if you go back to our past videos where we planted up our past secret garden at the other house in Virginia, we went ahead and planted some of them in, what would you call these, pond baskets?
They're pond planting baskets.
So the reason we put it on here was because it was really, really wet in the past garden. And the reason we were going to put plants in that area was so they can absorb, use like if they're sponges.
Yep.
And they did do the job. But we were very new to hosta, and we didn't know how well hosta could actually do in wet areas. They can take a lot of water.
Yeah.
And there shouldn't have been any need for this later on. And we decided to plant some out of the basket. The basket was just filled with some regular, some potting soil, so they could have something to sit in.
Yeah.
And we thought, they won't rot. It wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
These guys will take anything.
Yeah, they did just fine in there. But now we got to get this basket off.
But what I think is so cool is that they survived. Of course, we have very mild winters here in Zone 9.
Yeah.
But it still freezes, and they did great. So the great thing about hosta in a hot climate is that they actually like to be, if they're in pots, sometimes it's a little better because they get a good freeze when it's cold in that winter, and they get a good freeze, and they love that. They love the cold. So, but we're going to put them in the ground, and we'll see what happens here too, because we have some garden friends that they grow them in the ground, and they've done very good in their gardens too. Okay. So let's see if we have to cut them, because there's root there.
I think we're going to have to cut this guy. I mean, it's pretty, the roots were not sticking out completely, but I think we may have to cut the plastic and just pull it off.
So we were trying to get around to doing this before they started to leaf out. Time just goes by so fast. Yep. Very, very quickly.
So I know this is not the most conventional way, using a big set of pruners, but I want to cut this plastic.
We don't want to damage that hosta either, or the roots.
The corners here, so I can just unwrap it pretty much. All right, so not gonna lie, this guy was a toughie to get out of this.
Let me catch my breath here.
This pond basket, but you can see it's a very happy hosta. Lots of roots. I think it's gonna be even happier once it goes into the ground. I think I did most of the work. Angie just came in at the end, and I'm playing. It was a team effort. Well, I'm falling over here, but yeah. So this is a wulala, so definitely a bigger hosta, and that basket. It was planted in there before most of them, so it kind of, the roots started to shoot out the side, so made it a little bit more difficult. But we got our whole planted here. I think what do we need? Some biotone.
Some biotone to get those roots going.
Yep. So we're not gonna amend the soil here. The soil's just fine. We're not gonna amend it with any compost or anything like that. Maybe we'll do that for the Heucheras, maybe?
Yes, the Heucheras need to be amended, but not this guy.
Anything else does not really need to be amended, and besides, the soil here is just perfect. So I'm gonna fit this guy right in there. Look at that.
Like pretty.
Like a glove. Is that the pretty side? That good?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, so, I love it.
Fits like a glove. Just gonna kind of work it in there the best that I can and start backfilling it with the soil that I took out of there.
Oh, that is pretty. Yeah, I told Ambrose I want to come in through here when we open the door and just see hosta right there. It'll grow out, so it'll be very, very pretty right there.
So knowing the hostas are shallow rooted also, that was, I know we talked about why we did the baskets and we were afraid they were gonna, get root rot or something like that in the last garden because they held a lot of water. They are shallow rooted, so they really shouldn't have gotten root rot. But it was a precaution because, again, we had a pond in the backyard before we did anything to it.
It was very bad, yeah. We actually helped out the soil. We actually fixed the problem.
Yeah.
And water right afterwards. But I think it is so cool that even though they were in the baskets, I left them through the whole winter. The reason I didn't take them out of the baskets, I hope they can see me right there. The reason I didn't take them out of the basket was for easy transportation. They're already in the basket planted. We just pulled them out. It was very easy to pull out. They were there, for 2 or 3 years in the basket?
They were there for a couple of years in the basket.
Yeah, but I wouldn't leave them longer than that. Yeah. And I said to Ambrose, you know what? That'll be a very easy way to just bring them. Don't even take them out. But when we got here, I was like, we're going to leave them like that.
Yeah.
And I had already spoken to other ladies that are into hostas so much.
Oh, yeah.
That they told me, I've forgotten about a hosta and literally left it out there while it snowed and everything for me. And this thing is still okay. It was bare roots out and everything. So I was like, I can't die here. I just can't die here in San Antonio.
Yeah. So that's the first hosta in the ground, guys. We're going to continue with the rest of the hostas, then we'll come back and figure out what else or how else we're actually going to finish this bed.
All the other ones, I went and pulled out of the basket. They were not. Ambrose had to take on the toughest one. The other ones were easy peasy just to come out.
All right. So all the hostas are in. I think we'll show after we're done.
Yes.
Right now, we figuring out, like I said, this was a kind of a work in progress, so we're figuring out where we're putting the ferns at. And like we said earlier, we can probably split some of these because I know that one has 5, this one has 2. So we're gonna dig the hole for this one real quick and see how well we can split it, and if we do need to split it at all, and then we'll find a location for that.
Yep.
So we're gonna split it then. And let's see.
Do you need something to split it with, or you got it?
I think we can get it here.
Okay, so they should be very easy to split because they haven't been in these pots for a long time.
Yep.
They'll grow very fast, especially here. It's warm and it's nice and humid. And this is a time of year, like I said before, that is great to start splitting plants in spring. Look at that.
Put the bigger piece in here, huh?
Yeah, it don't matter.
There we go. So fairly easy to split.
Let me grab some biotone.
These are not hard to split at all. We'll set this one aside and find a spot for it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so very, very big size still. And I'm gonna go ahead and put this in. You can see a lot of little fronds.
You could even split it more if you want to.
Yeah, we actually can.
Look at that.
All right.
There's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it?
Yep.
He could split. He could go crazy if he wants to.
I think we're just gonna go
You're
with this
good
one
like
right
that?
here. Yep. And we'll put the pretty side like this.
Yeah.
What you think? Yes? No?
That's good.
Angie's trying to find out where we're gonna put the next one at.
This is a fun part.
All right, and same thing with this crested surf fern. There's about 5 in here. How I'm gonna split them, I don't know. But we're gonna go ahead and put 2 right here and put the other ones in different spots. Okay, so this one's much easier to split only because, like I said, we put these in the shade garden at the last house, and they grew quite small, like I explained earlier. They were, even though they're shade plants, they do need some sun, but they were completely covered, so they didn't put too much growth on. But as you can see, very little tiny one here, and then you have a bigger one there, and we have about 3 more right here that are clumped up together. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these in here and find another spot for these 3.
So next we're going to go ahead and add 3 other perennials into this shade side of the garden. So, but these 3 kind of plants are going to need for the soil to be amended with some of this compost that I'm going to be using, land and sea compost from Spoma Organic. I'm talking about Heucheras and Jacob ladder. There's another plant, Brunera. So the Heuchera loves to be, all these plants love moist soil. Our soil is perfect for these types of perennials. We have clay and loamy soil, but they are going to need that organic matter, which it'll be perfect for them to thrive in here. Fingers crossed that they do, that everything goes well. We're going to give them a good start with the biotone as well. And then we'll just mix it in with the native soil. And what I'm planting here, this one's called Dolce Silver Gumdrop. So this one is more on the part shade, more of the shady side, guys. It says medium shade. I am going to put it up just a little higher. And I'm messing with the roots because we've had these in containers for a while, in the same nursery containers. I'm gonna leave it up a little high just so it doesn't, the crown doesn't rot. Get it to bloom. It's a very pretty color. So we are finally done. This actually took longer than what we thought, didn't it?
A whole day, pretty much.
So we're like all sweaty and it's super humid and it's, you know, telling us it's going to rain, but it never comes down. So you guys can only imagine the humidity right now. We're ready to call it a day and just go in. But let's go ahead and show you what got planted. There's one of the hostas that Ambrose, you planted that one, right?
Yes.
Yeah. This right here is called Heavenly Scent. It's a Jacob's Ladder plant. So it has such a beautiful feathery, like, not feathery, more like a fern kind of foliage. And then it will bloom these beautiful, like purple, light purple blooms. I don't know if we're going to see them this year, but we'll see. It needs a lot more sun than most of these plants over here. So I chose to put it on this area because there's more sun coming through here in the morning. So hopefully that's enough. If not, I'll pull it out and put it closer to that side over there where there's more sun. Then there's the other fern that Ambrose, he actually ended up dividing the ferns.
Yep, so we divided those in two and got two out of there. We knew we had two when we started, so we just divided it.
And then we got over here two of the other hostas, which this is called which one?
Heuchera.
Heuchera.
These are Primo Peachberry Ice.
There you go. And these can take a lot of sun. Of course, we are in a zone 9. They will need a lot more shade than when we had them in zone 7. They had a lot of sun and they did amazing.
Yeah.
But not here. Here they're going to need a little break. And then I like how we put there's Miss America, which I'm so excited to see her there. And then Ambrose went ahead and put around the crescent ferns, which are so pretty. Look at that color on those guys. And he separated those also. That was another bunch, right, that you had?
That was 5 in a container because we had 5 originally. And so we split them all into 5.
So that came out pretty. I wanted something in a darker foliage on this side. And we're not done. This is a work in progress. So you're going to see a lot of things changing with time. And also, if some of these plants get too big, like the hostas, we'll move those, whatever else is around, out of the way with time. And I love my wees. I love the wee hostas. Look at those guys. I'm glad we didn't separate those. We didn't divide them. Later with time we will, but that's pretty. The Brunera, that we did divide. Ambrose went ahead and divided those into 3. It was a big chunk of it in a pot, and we were able to divide. I think we lost a few, right?
Yeah,
when
we had 5 of those as well, and I think we lost them all.
Yeah, we had a second pot. I don't think that one made it.
And there's another hosta we put right there next to it.
Move back. We have more of the fern right there, more of the hosta.
So there's a second piece of the fern there, and then another woo-la-la there.
And then here's the, gosh, they're so pretty, these gumdrop heucheras. And on this side, it's a lot more shadier. So these do take a more shade than the other heucheras I have over there. So that's why I have them on this side. But look how pretty those rosy little flowers that it sprouts up. I'm gonna love to see the hummingbirds come through here when the hostas bloom, and so do these little guys that are blooming right now, the heuchera. That's gonna be very pretty.
Yep.
Hopefully with time we add other shade-loving plants that like to bloom. And then we tucked in
some more crested surf.
Yep.
And like I said, there was a 5th one, a little tiny one, so we put it there. And don't mind the rocks, guys. These are all rocks that are coming out from the garden that we're going to integrate back into the beds, or not even beds, it's just to the side of the garden.
Yeah, I'm
here.
just going to go ahead and use that rock. I like the color of it, so I'm going to be using it around here just for it to look nice. So I really do like them.
Once we get this whole section done, it's not quite done yet, but we'll get there.
So far, so good. What do you think?
I love it.
Yeah?
I'm excited. Hope you guys are excited also.
We're super excited. So on another video, we'll go ahead and give you a little update of, more in a more calming moment, because right now we're like, I think we're done.
It's pretty exhausting, yeah.
We're super tired. We did a few more videos before this one, so we've been out here all day. We just want to go in already because it's been It's been a day. It's been a day, but it's been very exciting and happy. But we'll do another video where we actually show you what's going on with everyone in this little area. Because so far, so good. I don't want to jinx us. But the plants seem to be happy right now. And, you know, we're taking good care of them. A lot of good water in the first days of planting. Maybe first 2 weeks, make sure, you know, when you plant something that is getting good watering in the first 2 weeks until they establish themselves really well.
So we did water all this in. Like I said, good drainage here. Nothing puddles up. There's no mud. The water's already gone that we watered them with. So that's a good sign that nothing's sitting in water and it dries up quite nicely here. So I guess that's going to do it for this video, huh?
Yeah.
We're tired.
We're tired.
Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you guys stay updated with what we're doing here in the shade garden because it's awesome. We're loving it. We're excited. There's quite a bit of stuff we still want to do in here to put it all and bring it all together. So, you got anything else?
No, just very happy to start seeing the place fill out. I'm glad we brought a lot of the plants because most of the plants all the plants here we brought with us, and it's filling it out quite nicely already. So we will be adding a few other new ones. We'll see how much more we can fit.
All right, guys. So that's going to do it. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.